Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to show you how to use the Morbidity Insights tool in Fusion. So first I'm going to show you how to get there. From Fusion Office, if you go to Analysis along the top and then Morbidity Insights, a new window will pop up. Once you get here, you can specify different parameters such as location, a date range, or later on I'll show you the Insights filter. So I'm going to be specific to Nuns Place. You could also select all locations if you wanted to. So I'm going to hit Nuns Place, and Fusion defaults your date range to the last week. So I'm using a data file from 2015, but for you it would be yesterday and a week from yesterday. So once you've done that, hit refresh and the data will populate in this diagnosis window on the left. So when you click on each one of these diagnoses, you will see a graph down at the bottom, which will give you an idea of when animals were diagnosed. So maybe you have a spike on a specific day and you kind of want to try and figure out why. It could be based on weather, it could be based on all sorts of things, but it's just to give you a baseline of what's going on over the last week. You'll also see down here it tells you the days in the period, so seven days, head days, and average head count over that time frame. So if you want to look at foot rot a little bit further and see some insights, hit the Gather Insights button down here at the bottom. And Fusion will take a minute to kind of go through everything it can find about foot rot at Nuns Place over this time frame. So once this window populates, you will see a whole bunch of different insights related to foot rot. So let's look through the first one. Along the top left we see diagnosed animals, and on the top right we see other animals, and I'll explain how those come into play. So 95% of the diagnosed animals were cattle type winter placed calves. So you might be thinking, okay, winter placed calves is an issue, they're all having foot rot. But then if you look at other animals, you see 50% of the other animals were winter placed calves and they didn't get sick. So that kind of gives you an idea of maybe winter placed calves isn't the issue. Next, if you look at the next row, you'll see 68% were being fed ration M. heifer Optiflex. So could you attribute foot rot to being a problem with this ration? That's kind of up to you to decide. But then if you see this other animals column, it says 23% of the other animals were being fed M. heifer Optiflex and they weren't diagnosed with foot rot. So that might tell you heifer Optiflex ration isn't a big deal. And you can work your way down through all of these different insights to get an idea of where your problem areas might be. So down here you see 33% were male, but 52% of the healthy animals were also male and didn't get foot rot. So it's not a gender thing. You could filter this based by clicking on the different column headers if you wanted to. So let's click on diagnosed animals to see what comes to the top. So you can see the highest percentage of diagnosed animals, and there was 40 animals diagnosed. 98% of them were in pens with a density between 100 and 150 square feet per animal. But 64% of the other animals had a similar pen density and they didn't get sick. So that gives you an idea that pen density might not be an issue either. But that's up to you to decide. If you want to filter this a little bit further, you could click along the top here and let's look at lots. So now it just pulls up all the lot information. So 38% were in lot L788. 15 of 207, or 7% of that lot. And then we see over here 7% of the healthy animals were a part of that lot and they didn't get sick. So this is just a way for you to look at your Fusion data a little bit more and a little bit deeper to try and diagnose some issues. If you want to print this report, you could do so by hitting on the bottom right, and you could look through it later and mark it all up with pen just so you can kind of see it and talk to your vet about it and get some more information from that. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at Fusion. We'd be happy to explain this a little bit more to you, or you could also hit this question mark in the bottom left to read the documentation put together of these numbers and where they come from.